Chapter 11 of The Semi-Attached Couple, by Emily Eden. This Librivox recording is in the public domain. Lady Eskdale's note of invitation arrived, worded in the most engaging manner. She begged Mrs. Douglas to consider her forlorn situation, and to lend dear, gay Lizzie to her for a few days, the few days not to be construed literally, but to extend to a fortnight if Eliza could bear to leave home for so long. She feared it would be very dull at first, but hoped that some friends who were expected would amuse that très amusable petite personne. If Mrs. Douglas consented to this plan, the carriage would come for Eliza and her maid the next day. Mrs. Douglas was excessively surprised. It was unlucky that she had said just so much against the manners and customs of Eskdale Castle, protests made too in vain, for she had no hesitation in allowing Eliza to accept the invitation. The friends who were expected might include a second Lord Teviot. That horrid, rude Lord Beaufort might be at home, and she could magnanimously forgive his nefarious conduct at Helen's wedding, if there were any chance of her officiating at his own in the capacity of his mother-in-law. Visions of grandeur rose before her eyes, and when Mr. Douglas, in the consultation held between them on the subject, asked if she had not said that the society at Eskdale Castle was not what she would like for her daughters, she boldly took Falstaff's line of defence when accused by Justice Shallow of having broken into his park and stolen his deer. "I have, Mr. Justice, I have, and so I hope that's answered." "Yes, my dear, I said so, but what of that? It is rather hard to be tried in the morning for every little careless word spoken overnight. Nothing provokes me so much as to be accused of inconstancy, when it does so happen that I am remarkably consistent. However, I am decidedly in favour of Lizzie's going, so it does not much matter what I said. We may as well tell her." Eliza was in raptures. "A whole fortnight of visiting, and only think, mamma, of Lady Eskdale saying she would send for my maid. Why, I have none." "You must take Betsy, I suppose, and my maid must dress Sarah. It will turn Betsy's head, and make her rather perter than she is, but it cannot be helped." "What fun it will be! Only what shall I do about going into the room alone? And I hope I shall not be sent out to ride with Lord Eskdale, for I do not know how to talk to him. And then, about dress, mamma, what gowns am I to take? And then, poor Sarah, left all alone, how unhappy she will be! Oh no, she won't, though, because of Mr. Wentworth's coming here. And besides, I shall write to her every day." This hint of Mr. Wentworth was well thrown in. Sarah was just beginning to wonder whether she ought not to be affronted because Lady Eskdale had not invited her, but the handsome manner with which Mr. Wentworth was made over to her, he being the only semblance of a lover that had ever appeared at the house, quite appeased her, and her affection for her sister was always strong enough to conquer any little feelings of jealousy awakened by Eliza's superior popularity. "Yes, you must certainly write every day," she said when they were alone, "and describe all your little difficulties. I think you will be very fond of Lady Eskdale." "Yes, I'm sure of it. She is such a dear, as she herself would say. But Lord Eskdale, Sarah, is very alarming, is not he?" "Rather so, but perhaps he will not take much notice of you. If I were you, Lizzie, I would read the newspaper more than you do, and then you can talk to him about trials and murders and politics and accidents. I observe that those are the kind of topics he likes." "Oh, goodness, Sarah! Think of me talking politics to Lord Eskdale! A nice mess I should make of that. No, I had better not think about it. I must take some pretty work with me, something that will not annoy Lady Eskdale in the drawing-room, and then music is always a resource. And my daily letter to you. And, Sarah, mind you send me every particular of Mr. Wentworth's visit, and what he says and looks and thinks. Oh dear, if you should write me word he had proposed, what a state I should be in!" "Oh, nonsense," said Sarah. "There is no chance of that." But the idea led her into a dream of happiness, and when Eliza and her Betsy, her embroidery, and her best gowns were all carried off the following morning in Lady Eskdale's carriage, Sarah saw her depart without one twinge of envy, for Mr. Wentworth had sent word he should arrive in time for dinner. End of Chapter 11.